this part 2, we are moving from Belize over to the Bahamas and taking a look at what is known as Dean's Blue Hole. The second deepest marine sinkhole in the world, Dean's Blue Hole is the home to turquoise waters, a ton of incredible marine life, and some truly unsettling facts. Let's dive in as we cover part 2 of the top 10 unsettling discoveries in the Great Blue Hole. Starting off in our number 10 spot, we have the depths. Dean's Blue Hole is one of the deepest marine sinkholes in the world and is actually a contender for the deepest. When first really being explored and measured, it came as quite a surprise just how deep it really is. While most other known blue holes have maximum depths of somewhere around 360 feet, Dean's came in and wiped that previous record away when it was recorded that depths there reached 663 feet, almost twice the previously known record. This of course means that while the hole is quite a popular diving spot, going down to the deepest depths isn't something that many people are going to get to experience in their lifetime. In our number 9 spot today, we have the Cubera Snapper. This species of snapper fish are marine ray-finned fish that can be found around Dean's Blue Hole. They have oval-shaped elongated bodies and they have 2 pairs of nostrils. One of the most unsettling parts of these fish is their teeth. They have large canine teeth that are visible even when their mouths are closed. While they are a fairly sought-after fish for food, they've also been known to cause a certain type of foodborne illness. So, eat if you dare. In our number 8 spot today, we have the comb sea star. Also sometimes referred to as the sand sifting star, these guys are a sea star that is the most widespread in their genus. These guys are bottom dwellers, which usually means if you're coming into contact with one, it's likely accidental, so it's super important to be on the lookout for them. These guys have spines on them, which can obviously cause injury to the skin, and their venom is in a gelatinous form around the spiny areas. The venom they possess is a powerful neurotoxin called tetrodotoxin, which is the most well-known of all of the marine toxins. This neurotoxin is a sodium channel blocker, which means that it prevents the nervous system from carrying messages, which then translates to your muscles being prevented from contracting in response to nervous stimulation. If a lethal dose of this toxin has been ingested, symptoms will likely be present within 17 minutes, and they include things like gastrointestinal symptoms, sweating, headache, tremor, paralysis, and eventual death. This is all to say, although these guys might look relatively harmless, those spikes are scarier than any of us might have thought. In our number 7 spot today, we have tarpons. These are a fish that can be found around the Blue Hole, and they belong to the genus Megalops. The fish found in this species are found in both freshwater as well as marine habitats, which is exactly what makes the Blue Hole such a perfect home for them. These fish definitely aren't small, growing to be about 4 to 8 feet in length. These creatures, once in their adult stage, are nocturnal hunters who like to swallow their food whole. Despite the fact that they definitely aren't the most tasty food, these fish are quite sought after in terms of fishing because they put up quite a nasty fight, and they also have this insane ability to leap out of the water. In our number 6 spot today, we have turtles. Okay, definitely the least unsettling on this list. There are a ton of sea turtles that can be found around the Blue Hole, and part of this might be due to the fact that there's actually an area called Turtle Cove quite close to the marine sinkhole. Some of the turtles seen here are some of the largest species that exist, but despite this, the species of turtles seen in the Bahamas have populations that are rapidly declining. This is due to a variety of things such as coastal development, climate change, etc. You get the idea. Thankfully, the Bahamian government has stepped in and made it illegal to catch turtles in the country's waters, but still more needs to be done if we are going to save those turtles. In our number 5 spot today, we have seahorses. Some of the most unusual appearing fish in the sea. There are plenty of seahorses that find their home in the Bahamas. These creatures range quite a bit in size, from just under an inch to sometimes being over a foot long. Seahorses aren't a very fast-moving species, and they don't tend to move very far during their lifespans. Part of where they get their name from is their long snouts, which they end up using to suck up food as they don't have any teeth. They aren't the best hunters because of that whole slow-moving thing, but they make do by snacking on small crustaceans like shrimp or krill. Food passes quite quickly through seahorses though, which means that they have to continually eat in order to make sure that they don't end up starving. In our number 4 spot today, we have stonefish. These guys are one of the most venomous known fish, and although they are primarily marine, some species are known to live in rivers, but those those obviously aren't the ones we're talking about today. Most of these guys can be found in coral reefs, and the name of these fish comes from their camouflage color, which allows them to blend in with their surroundings, but unfortunately, because they are so good at disguising themselves, swimmers may not notice or see them and then inadvertently step on them, which can cause a whole slew of issues. When a stonefish is disturbed, it will inject an amount of venom proportional to the amount of pressure it's feeling, and this venom comes from the glands at the base of their needle-like dorsal fin. The sting of a stonefish is said to be extremely painful, and if left untreated, it can actually be fatal. The poison within the venom that the stonefish possesses is a proteinaceous toxin called verrucotoxin. The symptoms of this poison include respiratory weakness, damage to the cardiovascular system, convulsions, and paralysis. Although there are many studies that have been done on this toxin, much about how it works and the exact mechanisms of it are not yet fully understood, which just places this already terrifying creature in a cloud of mystery. In our number 3 spot today we have stingrays. I probably don't need to tell you much about why this creature is something that is just a touch unsettling. Stingrays are most common in coastal, tropical, and subtropical marine waters throughout the world, and they are a group of sea rays, which are a kind of fish that are actually related to sharks. There are a wide variety of stingrays that can have anywhere from 1 to 3 blades. When contact with the spinal blade or blades is made, it causes immediate trauma to the area with a cut, swelling, and muscle cramps from the venom. The venom from a stingray contains the toxins cystatins and galactin. Galactin causes cell death in the victims, while the other one inhibits defense enzymes. This combination can lead to increased blood flow in the superficial capillaries and even cell death. In our number 2 spot today we have the black tip reef shark. These sharks have been seen in abundance around Dean's Blue Hole, and they are easily identifiable by the prominent black tips that can be seen on their fins. They tend to reach lengths of around 5 feet 2 inches, and they tend to stay in the same local area for several years at a time, which is part of the reason that when they are seen at the Blue Hole, there tends to be quite a few of them. They aren't a very easy species of shark to approach, as they will likely swim away from you. They don't pose a huge risk to humans, but sometimes those who are wading in the waters might be at risk of having their legs bitten by a slightly confused one. In our number 1 spot today we have the dive. In April of 2010, professional diver William Truebridge broke a free diving world record when he dove into the Blue Hole. He ended up reaching a depth of 302 feet or 92 meters without the use of fins. This wasn't enough for him though. He decided to outdo himself in December of the same year when he dove to a depth of 331 feet with a single breath while only using his hands and feet to propel him through the turquoise waters. These are all wonderful accomplishments, but in the same vein, it led to quite a terrible moment. In 2013, in November, a free diver named Nicholas Mavoli was attempting to set his own kind of record in a similar manner. Unfortunately, this dive proved to be fatal after he suffered a pulmonary edema. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and I'll see you next time. Bye! The venom from a stingray contains the toxins cystatins? Contains the toxins cystatins and galactin. Yep. This is so hard. Cystatins. Okay.